Hi there, my name is Rosie. I'm from Rosie's Piano Studio. I'm an online piano teacher. I'm making some videos for my students to help them better understand theory, which will help them with technical requirements and other aspects of playing. I wanted to go over triads for a minute. This should be friendly enough for someone who doesn't know much about piano. Triad is what we call a chord. A chord is a combination of different tones or sounds or notes on the piano. A triad happens to have, well, just like a triangle has three sides, a triad has three notes. Usually it has a root, a third, and a fifth. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have major triads and minor triads. There are also augmented and diminished triads, but I will be touching on those in a separate video. Major triads, well, major in music is supposed to be happy. I'm going to tell you a secret. I have heard music that was pretty sad, that was major. It is possible. But for the sake of this video, we're going to assume that major means happy and minor means sad or mysterious. Now, how do we make a major or a minor triad? Well, there's a long way which I will explain in further videos, a more advanced way. This is when we use our key signatures. This is sharps and flats. I'm not going to go into that right now. For now, we're going to keep it simple. Okay, I'm going to show you a very special way of figuring out how to do a major triad. We're going to use C major because it's a fairly easy triad. C, E, G. Sounds like this. For those of you who don't know a lot about piano, I will write C, E, G, C, D, E, F, G. You see, this is the root, this is the third, and this is the fifth. Now in piano, when we go from one key to the very next key, it can be from a white key to a white key or from a white key to a black key. As long as it's the very next key, we call that a half step. We also call it a semitone. It can also be called a half tone. And we're going to be using half tones, half steps, semitones, all the same thing really, to figure out how to make a major triad. Let's start with C. We go up 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 steps. 4 half steps, half tones, baby steps, semitones between the root and the third. Now we're going from the E to the G. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. Now this is where music is fantastic. It explains everything in the universe and it always makes sense. Every major triad will have 4 half steps between the root and the third, and 3 between the third and the fifth. Now, just in case you don't believe me, let's try this with B major. Now, I happen to know what is in B major, but we're going to do it step by step, literally. First, we're going to go 1 step, oopsie daisy, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step. And this is D sharp. It could also be E flat, but what we're doing is we're skipping an alphabet letter. So we're going to stick with a D sharp. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, and we're on F sharp. So our B major triad is B, D sharp, and F sharp. If you don't believe me, let's play it and see. Well, if that's not major, my name is not Rosie. That's how you get a major triad. As I told you before, there are other ways which I will go into in the future. Now let's look at minor triads. Now I'm going to show you the very simplest way of finding the minor triad. Let me switch the screen. Whenever you have a major triad, if you want to turn that in a minor triad, all you do is you lower the middle tone by a half step. But that's not nearly as much fun as seeing the pattern. So let's have a look at the pattern. Okay, I'm going to look at C minor this time, which I just demonstrated on the piano, C, E flat, G. Now let's see how these steps work. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. From the C to the E flat, 3 baby steps. From the 3rd to the 5th, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 steps. Oh my goodness, we just switched around the number, and that is how we find our minor triad. So just to summarize, for a major triad, from the root to the 3rd, we have 4 half steps or semitones. And from the root to the 5th, we have 3. In a minor triad, from the root to the 3rd, we have 3. And from the 3rd to the 5th, we have 4. I hope you find that as exciting as I do. This means that you technically never have to know what sharps or flats are in a key to be able to figure out the major or the minor triads. Enjoy!